Now, the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has approved the deposition of the traditional ruler of Piriga Chiefdom, Jonathan Zamona, and the ruler of Arak Chiefdom, Aliyu Yama. A statement signed by the Commissioner of Local Government, Umar Ahmed, stated that their deposition followed recommendations from the Ministry of Local Government in line with the provisions of Section 11 of the Traditional Institutions Law of 2021. The traditional ruler of Arak is accused of appointing 4 district heads instead of one approved for his chiefdom and is non-resident within the locality. The traditional ruler of Piriga was deposed over recent communal clashes between the Gure and Kitimi communities. According to the commissioner, the district head of Garun Kurama, Babangida Sule, will oversee the affairs of Piriga chiefdom pending the appointment of the new chief. The council secretary of Arak Chiefdom, Goma Ahmedu, will oversee the affairs of the chiefdom pending a new appointment. A governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, has assented to a supplementary appropriation bill of 71 billion naira approved by the State Assembly. The budget comprises 65.5 billion naira for capital expenditure and 5.6 billion naira as recurrent expenditure. The governor also assented to 8 other bills, which include the Delta State Development and Property Authority Bill 2022, Good Governance and Accountability Bill 2022, Creative Industry Development Bill, and Sickle Cell Disorder Control Bill 2023.
We've been a lucky set of people because all arms of government did work together. And together, even as I did say yesterday, I would have every reason to appreciate God for that which we're able to do, or that which God was able to use us to do in this state. What the previous administration did, and we appreciated it, we also looked into it as well. We thought the foundation was not fully built, and we had to build those foundations.
No, but it's good. So, as having experienced the executive, and now move to the legislature, now going back to the executive, that's, give me more opportunities to understand the state I want to govern. And I know that with my experience in the legislature and coming in as a governor, I will be able to do well. I'm very happy.
The military and paramilitary officers of West African countries are training in Abuja to protect civilians in conflict situations. The evolving dynamics of conflicts continue to place severe burdens on security forces and humanitarian agencies. Ifeanyi reports.
Civilians account for nearly 90% of wartime casualties, according to the UN. The situation places severe challenges on security forces tasked with protection as well as humanitarian workers. This training in Abuja, jointly organized by the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, the Japanese government, and UNDP, is meant to develop capacity of military and paramilitary officers to protect civilians in conflicts. The participants are drawn from West African countries.
The integrated approach signposts the reality that the protection mandate is not solely for the security actors to implement, but also of the humanitarian and development actors in conflict environment.
Continuous capacity building and strengthening for military and paramilitary, as well as civilians alike, on the need to effectively protect civilians in armed conflict will improve their professionalism, reduce fatalities, preserve life, significantly build trust and confidence in the services, as well as peace support operations activities.
Armed conflict often results in devastating loss of civilian life, massive displacement, and violations of human rights and international humanitarian laws.
And conflicts are becoming order of the day because of several reasons. But the most important thing is that the civilians that are responsible for even paying the taxes that provide equipment and training for us to participate in peacekeeping, in security provision and everything, they need to be protected. Unfortunately, as we have seen in events all over the world, the first victims are civilians, and the worst victims are women and children.
Apart from mitigating conflicts, trainings like this is meant to also reduce the impact on those affected. Sifon Asian, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, the United Nations Population Fund is advocating quality midwifery care for pregnant mothers across 125 countries, including Nigeria. Competent midwives can provide up to 90% of essential sexual and reproductive health care, but due to their short supply and underutilization, only 10% of these services are provided. Health correspondent Kemi Balogun reports.
Globally, a woman dies every 2 minutes due to pregnancy or childbirth complications. But the cry of a baby brings with it warm hearts and fulfills the job of any midwife or birth attendant. An effective access to midwives offers the best and most cost-effective solution to ending preventable maternal deaths. But many countries suffer huge shortages of this set of skilled workforce. In Nigeria, there is a huge deficit of midwives with a gap of more than 70,000 skilled health workers. There is a global shortage of 900,000 midwives, reflecting an assumption that there are not essential healthcare workers, leading to more than 280,000 women losing their lives while giving birth. An additional 2.4 million newborns die and 2.2 million are stillborn. By closing the deficit in the number of midwives, the country could prevent more than 4 million deaths by the year 2035. The United Nations Population Fund reveals that if countries invest in a capable midwifery workforce, more mothers and their babies will be saved. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
And outside Nigeria, former Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan has been granted bail until 8th of June in 8 cases related to the violence at the court complex in March this year. The former Prime Minister's wife, Bushra Bibi, was also granted protective bail until 31st of May in a corruption case by the National Accountability Bureau Court. Imran Khan will be appearing before another NAB court in the garrison town of Rawalpindi later today. The couple is accused of accepting the gift of property to build a private university in exchange for providing benefits to a real estate tycoon. Mr. Khan has, however, denied the charge, saying he and his wife were not involved in any wrongdoing.